Hi there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. It is Snapchat time and I cut my hair today. Actually, Lila did. I was just getting fed up. You know, you just get fed up sometimes, and I was just sick of my hair being so frizzy in the humidity, and I was just sick of it taking all day to dry. I wash it in the morning and it's still damp when I go to bed, and I just couldn't take it anymore. And yeah, I saw Lila, my daughter, and I'm like, honey, would you cut my hair? And she's like, sure, what do you want? And I'm like, I want something kind of like Marilyn Monroe. And I found a picture and I said, can you do that? And she says, I will try. She says, how much do you want to cut off? And I said, however much it takes. I want it just above shoulder length. And she cut about 8 inches off the back and then just layered it up. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Might have some pieces that need to be a little bit shorter. But for now, I think it's good. I think it's super cute with a headband. After I washed it and I blow dried it, I just put it in a headband while I did my makeup, and I'm like, you know, it's just even cute without doing anything to it, and that's what I need for the summer, because, you know, it's almost like I'll go paddleboarding and it's almost like I don't want to jump in and go swimming because then my hair's gonna be wet for ages, or I have to blow dry it, and it takes so long to blow dry. It did. Not anymore, friends. So yeah, there's a quote by Coco Chanel that goes, a woman who cuts her hair is about to change her life. And I just love that. I just love it. Don't you love it, like in a movie, like the montage, you know when a woman has just had enough and she is going to make a change, she chops her hair off. That's the first thing she does. And I don't know, something very, very profound, very transformative about it. I just finished World Watercolor Month. Many days I was irritated with what I've done for like my prompts and stuff, and I'm just like, time for a change. Time to make a change. I don't know. I don't really have any big plans for any life changes. I'm lifting weights though. I'm actually going up in, I was doing my workout yesterday morning. I'm doing it 3 times a week. And I was doing it yesterday morning. I'm like, oh my gosh, I could keep bench pressing these 2 10-pound free weights. I'm like, I'm ready to go to the 15-pound free weights. And I could do the kettlebell thing like that 10 times, then 3 reps of 10 times. And I couldn't do that before. I could only do about 7, and then I was done. I couldn't lift it anymore. So that's great. I'm getting some strength. I'm starting to feel some strength, and that feels great. Bought some new sneakers last weekend. It's funny because well, this will tie into a story. Here we go. Let's just start this. So last weekend, it was it Sunday? I think it was Sunday, Saturday or Sunday. The World Watercolor Month prompt was sweet. And I thought, ooh, I could go up to Orono and buy a vegan donut and paint that for the prompt, and then eat the vegan donut. And so, but then I was like, I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it. I'm like, I don't really want, I've already painted donuts once this month, for one thing. And for the other thing, it's like, I don't really want to have donuts if we're going to, because usually Jason and I will go out to lunch one day on the weekend. And like, well, I don't want to have a donut then go out for lunch. So we actually went up to Orono where the vegan donuts live, but we went to this restaurant called China Garden. And the woman that owns this restaurant used to own my favorite Chinese restaurant, my favorite one in Bangor and Brewer. And then as she got older, I mean, I don't know how old she is. She doesn't look like she's aged a day. She's a vegetarian, by the way. So, I mean, I'm just hoping this whole vegetarian thing pans out. It's been like 30 years, so all good so far. So we went to her restaurant. It didn't seem like there was anybody else there. And I saw one waitress, and I didn't know if she was like running the whole show or not. So I ordered off the menu. Ordered the thing I used to get at the Brewer restaurant, which is bean curd home style, favorite dish that she made. But on the menu it said, "Do you have an open mind?" And it was like, or "Do you have an adventurous personality?" And I was like, ooh, I'm intrigued, but I didn't know Christine was there, the owner. Because if I knew she was there, 'cause she's a vegetarian, I would be like, yeah, make me something. You know what to do. But anyways, I ordered off the menu, and it was very good. But then another couple came in, and Christine came out and was asking her, okay, so what do you like? Are you vegetarian? Are you? I'm like, oh, I should have had an open mind. I didn't have an open mind. And I just had something off the menu, like a commoner. I could have some adventure, some culinary adventure, but no, I had something off the menu. What was I thinking? So, I'm just like, I'm questioning everything. I'm cutting my hair. I'm gonna be an adventurer. I don't know. But anyway, so back to donuts. So tomorrow I'm going back to Orono to paint at the botanical garden there up on the university, because I started this group on Facebook. It's really a group. I started a group, but actually I was trying to figure out how to do like a chat and invite all the people that I know locally that paint and put them in this chat. And for some reason I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't get it to go. And so I'm like, all right, I'll make a group. And then it's like, you need 15 people to make a group. I'm like, I don't know 15 people around here that paint. So I figured out the message and I ended up doing that. So a group of us got together at this train station in Belfast last Friday and we painted. And I can show you what I painted actually. I did show it during, gotta reach it. I did show it during the live stream I did on Wednesday because I went through all my World Watercolor Month projects, but I painted this. I was like trying to channel James Gurney. Let me try to get that closer to the camera. Hopefully it focuses. Yeah, I'm like painting like, oh, if James Gurney was here, he would paint this and that and it would be fabulous and it'd be done in 10 minutes. But yeah, I slaved away at that for a long time and I wasn't really that happy with it. I did some pencil sketches of some signs and I liked how those came out quite a bit more. I inked them and painted them when I got home. But, so anyway, about 6 of us went to that, and I didn't get a picture. Why didn't I get a picture? I could have gotten a picture. It was all near one of the trains. That would have been so cool. But anyway, I didn't. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. But, so then I said, let's go to the Botanical Gardens in Orono next Friday. I don't know who's going to show up. I don't think many people can come. But anyways, my friend Karen and I are going to ride up together and she's like, let's get vegan donuts before we go. And I'm like, that's a great idea. So we're going to do that. Then we're going to go paint. And I haven't decided if I'm going to bring, because I'm kind of, honestly, I gotta be honest. I'm feeling kind of burnt out on watercolor right now because I've done 31 days. Granted, one day was gouache, but still 31 days. And I'm feeling like I need a change. Cut my hair, working in a new medium, you know, August. So I'm trying to decide if I want to do pastels, oils, or my aquila, which is similar to, it's actually a water-based resin, which I'm kind of, I don't know. I've got my aquila paint in my pochade box. I've got a drawer for my French easel that's for pastel, and I've got a drawer in my French easel that's for oils. My pochade box is ready to go. I just got to throw a couple canvas panels in it. My French easel is also ready to go, but I wanted to use this wheelie tote that my husband got me last year for my birthday, but I haven't used it because my French easel doesn't fit in it. So I need to sew darts in each side. I need to slice down the edge and sew a dart. And I also noticed that there's like a little, like the fabric had come apart from like the little seam binding on the side. So I didn't notice it right away, and I didn't want to bother my husband to like get an exchange. I'm like, I need to really expand this anyway, so it's gonna fit for the purpose that I wanted it. I wanted it for my French easel because my French easel is so heavy. It's one of those full-size wooden French easels. And it's great if you're gonna drive somewhere and paint right there, but if you're gonna hike anywhere in, it's just really heavy. So I wanted that. Of course, now I'm lifting weights, maybe I can just lug that no problem. Probably not. I could, especially in the heat, who wants to lug a bunch of stuff? I don't even carry a purse because I don't like to carry things. I have a wallet, you know, that's it. So I want to fix that, and then I can just wheel my French easel, but it is Thursday afternoon, it's 3:12. Am I going to get a chance to do that before I go tomorrow morning? Because tomorrow morning is when I'm going to head out and we're going to go paint. So I don't know. I don't know what I feel like painting. I don't know what I like. You know, do you ever get to that point where it's like, I've been doing this thing for so long, I don't even know what I like anymore. And I've been doing watercolors all month, and I need to do something else. And pastel is very, it's very appealing to me right now, I think, working in something that's immediate, dry medium. I have a couple new pastels to review as well, which is kind of exciting. I have the Jumbo Paul Rubens. They say oil paint stick on them, but they're a large oil pastel. From what I gather from the rep that asked me if I would review them. And I like their regular oil pastels. And I have their white and black giant oil pastel. So it seems like they're an oil pastel, not an oil paint stick, which is fine because I've discovered a way to varnish my oil pastels so I can display them like oil paintings. So that's really nice. And I just like the immediacy. I don't think I want to fart around with oil paints. And also I like soft pastels. So my pastel pot, I have soft pastels in it, not oil pastels. So I don't know. I am ready for a watercolor break though, for sure. It has been, I always like to evaluate like a challenge month after I've done one. Because a lot of times I feel like, yeah, I leveled up, I painted every day, it was really great. But this time I felt like, yeah, I painted every day, but I don't feel like I leveled up. I feel like my speed didn't really improve. I don't feel like my techniques really improved. I felt like I spent more time rendering, like making an image pretty, than I did actually like digging in and learning something new and getting better at anything. So maybe like after I forget the battle and I look back at those paintings, you know, in a month or two, I'll be like, oh yeah, that was awesome. I really like that. But right now it's just, yeah, I'm feeling kind of meh over it. I mean, I'm happy with many of the projects that I did. I really like the tomatoes, but I feel like I peaked mid-month and then I just kind of lost my steam. I did it every day because I said I was going to do it every day, but I definitely didn't feel like I progressed as much as I wanted to, and that's kind of a bummer. That was kind of a bummer. But maybe, you know, maybe I'm just in a mood, and, you know, I'm probably in a mood since I just chopped my hair. Look at this. I mean, it is like, look how short it is. Yeah, when I saw that pile of hair on the floor, I was just like, yes, that is just what I needed, because it was so just frizzy and wavy and damaged, and I just was not here for it. I wasn't having it. I wasn't having it at all. I'm not sure about this dress for on camera. I don't know. We'll see. It's white and it's just glaring, and I'm not sure about anything. Cut my hair, change my life. Oh, I don't know. So what's new? What do I have coming up? I think I've been so focused on World Watercolor Month that I'm not even really, I don't even really know what is life, what's going on. I've been in my World Watercolor Month bunker. Oh my word. I walked down here the other day, down to my studio, and there was the worst smell in the basement, and I do not know what it is. All I can think of is that maybe Tally mortally wounded a mouse or something, and it crawled away somewhere to die, because it just, and it's this weird, it's this awful smell, but you don't always smell it, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh my god, where is that coming from? I need to find it and bleach it. I don't know. I've had the bulkhead open, I've opened up the casement windows, letting air circulate. I walked into the utility room down here, and I like got hit by it. I'm like, okay, it must be in here, and I can't find anything. I don't know. Gross. But you know, if you've ever had a mouse like crawl under your refrigerator and die, has that ever happened to you? It's a very distinct smell. It's very gross. Sorry to gross you out, but it's very gross. And I don't know. Right now I'm not smelling anything. So I don't know. It's a mystery. It's very strange. Oh, I've been working on some reviews, but you know, I was working on 2 reviews this morning before I did the live stream for the World Watercolor Month, which is, you can find it on my YouTube channel and on my blog if you want to check it out. I just kind of went through all the paintings and talked about them a little bit and answered questions of people that were watching live that you could skip ahead if you don't, if you're not interested in that. But, where was I? Yes, I was working on some reviews. I started some reviews yesterday. So after I did my last World Watercolor Month picture that I didn't gouache, like, okay, I'm going to swatch this set of gouaches. I've reviewed this brand before, and I wasn't feeling it, and I'm like, okay, I've done something practical with this set. I'm going to swatch it. Maybe it's going to change my life when I see the swatches. I'll be like, oh, I was so wrong. I'm like, oh, no, I'm not. I think I've always been right about this paint. My views on this paint has not changed. But then I was feeling like a sourpuss. I'm like, maybe I'm just being a sourpuss. So I'm like, well, I've got something else I need to work on, and the unboxing did so well, like we knew it would. Didn't we say it last week? We'd like, yeah, everyone loves an unboxing. That's doing better than any video. But the bookbinding one is doing pretty well, I think, because I posted it right after the unboxing, because I know I get that sweet push from the unboxing from the algorithm. Although I looked in the analytics to see like how much YouTube, because it'll say how much YouTube showed your video, and they'll show, and it's like they pushed the other one. They pushed the unboxing. They didn't show the bookbinding tutorial to as many people as they showed the unboxing. It's like, how is content that is meant to be, that is educational, supposed to do as well as consumerist content if YouTube won't push the stuff that's a tutorial? It's like, it's frustrating because there are other factors at play. How much do we control? Anyway, really great feedback on the bookbinding tutorial. I showed the Coptic stitch Bookbinding. And I had some really great comments. Some people said that they've seen this stitch before, they've tried it before, but they just couldn't understand it, and this made it clear. So I'm really glad, because I was really worried about filming a bookbinding tutorial because it's so hard to keep things in frame when you're like stitching or tying knots, tying bows, anything like that. It's like a stitching type motion. I tend to get, it goes off the frame, it goes out of frame, and I'm trying to like have it zoomed in enough so that you can see the stitches, but not so zoomed out that you can, not so zoomed in that I'm pulling it out of the frame all the time. But anyways, people said that it was great, and yay, I'm glad. Because I think it turned out pretty good. I was really, when I first had it all recorded and I put it in a timeline, which is when you take all your pieces of video and you put them together in order, and I was going through to edit it, I'm like, oh my word, this is so long. I have over an hour of footage, and I can't see many places to cut out, because I tried to just record the really important stuff. And I'm like, am I over-explaining this? I felt like I was over-explaining it, but apparently I didn't for the people that were brain dead at bookbinding that were watching this. So, so that was great. I'm really proud of that video, and I think that people enjoyed it. And if you watched it, let me know what you think about it. I'm happy with it. I think that's a really good one though, because you get to make something so satisfying about making a sketchbook. You're making a tool for art that you're going to use, and you know that you don't have to be precious about it because it didn't cost a lot to make, but it's yet it's the best quality sketchbook you probably have. So the most it's going to cost you is the cost of 2 sheets of paper of your choice, like the 22 inch by 30 inch sheets. So say you go to the craft store, the art store, and you buy Michaels, you buy the whole darn store out. You buy 2 sheets of Arches watercolor paper. Even at Michaels, what's that going to cost? At Blick, it's probably going to cost, if you're buying 140 pound, probably about $8. If you're buying 90 pound, $5. I would get the 140 pound, but do what you want to do. I mean, if 140 pound isn't going to buckle at the sketchbook size we're doing, 90 pound might buckle a little bit. It's not going to be bad. But anyways, whatever you can afford, get 2 sheets of good paper. That's going to be your biggest expense, because like your cover, you can use, somebody had a great, I think it was Becky, who's a regular viewer here. She said, I think I'm going to use the backing of a watercolor pad. And I'm like, that's perfect. Why didn't I suggest that in the video? That's so perfect, because if it's meant to be okay for your watercolor paper while it sits on the store shelf and is waiting to be sold, it's going to be fine for your sketchbook, especially if you cover it with an acid-free paper. Like, that's perfect. It's going to be perfectly sturdy. So you could save the backing of a watercolor pad or any sort of art paper pad you have, or use mat board scraps like I'm using here, or buy bookboard if you want to. You certainly don't need to. If you're just making one sketchbook, I would try to find something around your house that you can use, because you usually have to buy bookboard in a pack, or you have to buy mat board in a minimum sheet quantity. Yeah, and if you don't feel like buying a big thing of paper because it's too cumbersome to deal with, you don't have a big table that you can tear it down on, then get a small pad of paper and just fold it in half or chop it in half and make it to that size, because it doesn't matter the techniques that I showed you. You can make any size book you want, because I show you how to make the template for your stitching, which could be, it'll fit, you make it for whatever size you're making. So then you make your sketchbook with the paper that you love, and you're getting double use out of the paper because you're using both sides because it's a sketchbook, and you don't have to feel precious about it because you made it, and you can make another one whenever you want to. And if you forget how to make it, the video's there so you can watch it again and make it again. So so I think it's really exciting. So yeah, I'm really happy about that. I'm happy with the way that it came out. Oh, another exciting thing I want to share with you. So last week I kind of hinted towards another retreat, and I was talking about Spain or Italy, and the resounding preference in the chat was Italy. And I could go either way, honestly. I was kind of leaning towards Spain because I thought Spain might be warmer, and also I knew the location in Spain had more single rooms. They had like their own little kind of like cabins on a nature preserve, and I'm like, oh my god, nature preserve cabins, love it. But the downside to that was that, well, not a downside to me, but I think a downside probably to any of my guests, was that there was only vegetarian cuisine there. It's only vegan and vegetarian, because where it's located on this wildlife preserve, they don't serve meat because they don't want to attract predators or something, I guess, from what I understand. So, which is, I mean, I don't mind. I love that. I'm vegan. My diet is vegan. Have you ever heard of have you ever heard of the, what's it called? Dino and Rhino, Democrat in name only, Republican in name only. I feel like I'm vino, vegan in name only, because, you know, in diet only, veto. I'm a veto, vegan in diet only. Although, I mean, I am obviously, I would say active in animal rights, but I'm definitely, what do I want to say? I'm not perfect is what I want to say, because I've got sandals that are made of leather. They're going to last longer than plastic sandals. I've had these for a couple of years. I wear them all the time in the summer. I have some old brushes that are animal hair, and I have them and I use them because I've had them. I'm not going to throw them away. They are perfectly good. They're going to outlast. If I go and just buy a plastic hair one to replace it, it might not last as long. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to get rid of stuff just to get new stuff. And I'm not going to buy something that's going to not last, and have to buy the same thing over and over again, because that's more trash in the landfill. You know, it's like, especially, I mean, like, I don't eat meat, but like those shoes, my sandals have leather on them, but they're not killing the animal, just the leather. And anyway, veto. I'm going to call myself a veto. I don't know. There's a name for it in French, actually, vegetarian. Vegetarian is somebody who's vegan diet, but not vegan lifestyle, I guess. Complete, 100% perfect vegan lifestyle. And I never claimed to be perfect anyway, so there we go. It's perfect for me, right? It's perfect because I'm not perfect. But where was I? Oh, so anyway, so Spain, also, all of the little cabins are like a 15-minute walk from the area where we eat and where the art studio is. So that would mean several 15-minute walks a day, which it's not a big deal for most people, but it is a big deal for some people. And I have an older audience, and I don't want anyone to feel excluded that really wants to go on this trip. And I don't want somebody to get there and be like, oh, I can't, that's just too much for me to walk every day, and then not participate as much as they want to. So, and that's something that they said was some feedback they got from that location a lot, that people didn't like all the walking. It was just too much for some people. So I want to meet people where they're at. Italy is so beautiful. It's in the Tuscany. It's in Tuscany, I believe. And it will be October 2025. I'll be launching it towards the end of September, beginning of October. So I just want to give you a heads up. I know the holidays are coming up. I know people need to save up for things like this and to kind of think about it a bit too. And also, if you're in a situation where the holidays are rolling around, people are asking you what you want, and you know, you might want to say, well, maybe I'll ask for like a, you know, just some cash to go towards this, or something like that, you know. And just to be prepared, because I know when we launched the France one, it sold out in 3 days, and I know a lot of the previous attendees want to come to another retreat, so that way you can kind of decide. You can think about it for a little bit. The way it goes, now that it's not my first rodeo anymore, I can tell you a little bit more about how the whole process goes. So what happens is that we announce a retreat, and then you can book your room, and there's usually a couple single room options, and then there's a bunch of shared room options, and I'm not sure what the limit would be. Probably between 15 and 18 people. I have to look at that specific one, because it's, you know, there's capacities to different rooms, right? And so it has to sell out for it to happen. So once the retreat sells out, then a couple weeks later, Uptrek contacts everybody that booked and says, okay, the retreat is sold out. It's guaranteed. We're going to charge your card. If you change your mind, you got to let us know now. So that way, anybody that's like, oh shoot, something happened, I can't afford it anymore, or I changed my mind, or you know, a myriad of reasons, I got a new job, I'm not going to be able to be away, you know, whatever it is, somebody can say, oh, actually, I can't do it. So like last time we did it, 3 people dropped out, so then they go to the wait list. So if you don't get the room you want, or you don't get a spot, then you can join the wait list. And then if somebody, the room you want is sold out, you join the wait list, then if that person decides not to go, you'll be called, you know, they'll go in order of when they signed up through the wait list. So don't be discouraged if you don't get a spot on a retreat, because just sign up for the wait list. If somebody bails out, they'll contact the people on the wait list. They would contact the people first in line for that room, and then after that they would open it up to the others. So that's what happened with my retreat, and then those last couple spaces sold, and we were good to go. but yeah, just wanted to give you kind of a heads up in case you're like, oh, I'm like 99.9% sure I want to go, but what, you get that little bit of wiggle room before they charge your card. You can decide. So yeah, so that's going to be the end of October 2025. If you just want to kind of tuck that away and think about planning for that. I'm excited because honestly, I could go be happy either place. Honestly, Spain has this kind of like rich, warm texture. Like I've never been to either place, so I don't know. But in my mind, Spain has this like just this warmth to it. I can just imagine the people being so warm and friendly and beautiful, and just the culture and the spiciness of the food. I don't know if Spanish food is spicy or not, but I'm just like, ooh, it sounds nice. But also Italy, you've got all the statues and the old buildings and the history. I mean, Spain has history too. All those European countries have way more history than well, I wouldn't say more history than we have here, because there's been people here for a long time before the colonialism and stuff, but just architectural history and sculptural history and all of that. And also I watched the series Ripley on Netflix with Andrew Scott. I talked about that last week with Andrew Scott, and I was just like, oh, Italy looks so magical. And it's all in black and white, so I'm like, obviously it's gonna be in color when I go there, but I was just like, oh, that looks so beautiful and so nice. Hopefully it won't be too crazy rainy, but there'll be indoor studios and outdoor studios, and I learned a lot doing the last retreat. And although I fester, I fester. 100 positive comments, that one negative comment, like, that's what I'm gonna think about. But you know what? That was actually really good. It was really good, and I'm glad that I listened to it, because it was an excellent point. Somebody wanted more instruction, and it's really difficult if you have to come to my table, watch me do it, and go back to your table and work. That's not great. That's not a great learning experience. So I'm like, I want a monitor. I want some sort of, maybe just a big screen TV, and I could cast it from my phone or something like that. But I want something where people can be sitting at their workspace with all their comfortable materials around them that they know and love, and they can watch from there. Even though I'm right there, in a few feet from them, they can see it on a bigger screen, or maybe they could even, pull it up on their phone or something like that, so that there is more, that it meets them where they're at better. And that's making me a better teacher. Even though, nobody likes to hear criticism. I'm sure other people deal with it better than I do, but we don't like to hear criticism, but we need to know that to be better. And that's what I just want to be in this life. I just want to be better than I was yesterday. Is that too much to ask? But anyways, I'm about out of time. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. And let me know what you're up to in the comments below. Until next time, happy crafting. Bye.